9 o'clock exactly, rising and jamming to the Good Morning Show, BDW, right here on your radio. As advertised all morning, I have a guest in our studios this morning, and he is a dauntless journalist, an erudite scholar, an astute politician, lawmaker, master of political strategy. He's a man who has seen both the good times and the bad times, yet he is a man who is still in search of better times for all. An Ekiti man to the core, my guest this morning is here to share his experiences as they reflect on his vision for Nigeria. Please welcome Mr. Babafemo Ojodu, who is the Special Advisor on Political Matters to President Muhammadu Buhari. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
Same here.
First things first, you are presently the Special Advisor on Political Matters to Mr. President.
Yes.
Before that, you were the Senator of the Federal Republic. And then you surprised many Nigerians, you surprised me, by deciding not to recontest. A very un-Nigerian decision. I mean, who does that? So what led to that decision? What did you see in that place? Anything you may wish to warn people like us about?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm always prepared to do whatever I do because I want results. I want to move from point A to point B. I do not do things that waste my time, my energy, and my resources.
Being in the Senate wasted your time?
It was for me, at that time, just a talk shop. You know, I look around me and I look at all the problems confronting Nigerians. What are we doing about these problems? How are we contributing to solve problems facing our people? Are we just here to play? 109 people handing top salary, not even measuring their achievements, the impact of their action on the people. You know, we are feeding fat on the people. We do not care. That was, the way. Each time I go to work, I tell my wife, my friends, this time I was not happy going there. I'm a man who is passionate about the people, passionate about this country, believing that Nigeria, with what God has given us, we can give the people a better life. And I just said, for me, this is not where I belong. And I told myself, I'm not going to come back to this place.
Others would have wanted you to stay there and fight these things.
I was alone. And I was overwhelmed. Even when I have great ideas, things to contribute, I must have drafted close to 20 bills. He said that they were not listed. Where they were listed, they were not had. Resolutions, so many, So even when issues of importance are going on, and because of my reportage of governance in Nigeria and Africa for 20 years, I have insights to give. I will raise up my head, my hand, my legs. The mark will look the other way.
Oh dear.
Until I start shouting, point of order, point of order. I don't want to become a nuisance. So it was later a friend of mine, from Osun State, came to me and said, look, he was chatting with David Mark one day, and he told him, look, that guy, I know him very well, he's troublesome, this and that kind of thing. Each time I see him raising up his hand or taking his phone to his ear, he's either consulting Bola Ahmed Tinubu on, positions that will come and, propagate on behalf of his leader. And I said, look, I've been, from my early age, I've been an independent-minded person. I wasn't in the Senate, to just be an errand boy for anybody. I was in the Senate to contribute meaningfully. And I saw quite a lot of things that the Senate could do to bring about real change in Nigeria. Look, there is so much task for the National Assembly. Let me give you an example. When Jonathan brought his ministers and nominated Desiani, information came in through the courts that Desiani never did this youth service. And there is a law that says any person, Nigerian, who failed, it's part of the decree that created the National Youth Service, who failed to observe, cannot be appointed into public office. And we presented that evidence. Nobody was going to look at it. Some people went to court and obtained injunction. They refused to be served. And they confirmed Desiani. And Desiani became minister. We know the disaster that has become. That was a pointer that this person will want to give this massive responsibility. We not do the nation proud. These are the kind of things you go to the Senate to do, that the Senate should do as a collective. Ensure that you protect the state, protect the nation, do good laws and all of that kind of thing. So for me, when these are not being done, other considerations are coming into being. People come, they are antecedent. They want to take public office. You have contributions to make. Somebody will raise up the gavel and say, take a bow and go. I've watched Senate perform in America.
So many times.
I've watched the Parliament in Britain. When people are going to be given public, because they are drilled, everybody who has information bring them on, and they're asked to defend themselves.
Yes.
But here we don't even care. For as long as they're friend or comes from our party or has done, some good to us,
take a bow.
we just take a bow and go. So I was not cheered by all of these things, and I told myself, why waste your time? Yeah.
There was no point.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at your present role as political advisor to the president.
Right.
The present government is getting a lot of flack from the opposition and its supporters.
Yes.
Others may feel that due to the reduced economic circumstances that many Nigerians are experiencing, that the APC's promises are not being fulfilled. Now, the government is citing your side. You're citing many positives.
Yes.
Increased agricultural activities.
Yes.
Improved foreign reserves. More control of more financial control generally. There's also the fight against corruption and quite a few other positives.
Yes.
But the security challenges are still there.
Yes.
Boko Haram, for me, has resurfaced as a herdsman's menace all across the country. What are your views of the present situation? How are you advising the government?
Well, for me, there are challenges. Nobody can run away from that. And government exists to confront challenges. And the present government is not running away from confronting those challenges. There is also another thing to the problems we are confronting. Election is just about a year away.
Yes.
Many people, the fat cats, have deprived of free money since Buhari emerged on the scene. And they are fighting back. They will continue to fight back. Don't expect that we are going to have peace between now and February next year when there will be election. They will do everything. They will lie. They will create crisis across the country. They will raise up the political temperature of the country. I was giving an example earlier somewhere today that look, people came on social media with a photograph of dead body on the road, and they claim that herdsmen are killing people on the highway between Lagos and Ibadan, and they show photograph. They gave us a voice, whatever. Lo and behold, there was nothing like that on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The police from Lagos, from Ogun State and Oyo ran, and there was nothing.
But there are herdsmen's killings as well in the country.
There are herdsmen killings. There are problems. There are confrontation. There are security issues. Those are security issues. But I'm saying that people are heightening these things. Some are even calling it genocide, massacre, And I go back to my dictionary and look at the meaning of genocide. And I look at where the word derives from. I do not see what has happened. It's a tragic situation, no doubt. Anywhere where a human being is slaughtered needlessly is a tragedy for all of us, But genocide, you do not know what genocide is. You don't know what massacre is. There were killings by irresponsible people who could not resolve their problems by with dialogue. And the president, as soon as he learned about it, ordered the Special General of Police go on the scene, go right there and establish a base and make sure that everyone responsible is brought to book. That kind of. And then you'll see all these pilgrimage by PDP governors to Benue. I'm donating 10 million. I'm donating 250 million, and that's an indication that there is politics to this thing. A governor who has not paid salaries of his workers for 10 months, he has enough to go and pay money to governor of Benue State. How much of that money goes to the people that have lost their lives now? Having said that, this government is prepared and ready to tackle head-on the challenges of insecurity in Nigeria. It's ready to tackle, the problem that is confronting those that have been displaced and victims of this. Just last week, the vice president has been made to chair a committee to rebuild houses that have been burnt or destroyed, and provide succor for those who are affected. But I also want to say that Nigerians need to be educated on why we are where we are, and it's multidimensional. One is that there is increased pressure on land, because of growing population. Areas that have been located in the past, that have been given to grazing in the past, the grazing routes have been taken over by farmers because of the need to produce more for Nigerians to consume. Okay. There are even also more production of cattle, again because of demand. That is one. Secondly, there is desertification. The entire Sahel, all of the animals in the entire Sahel, when we are having this problem, are moving down south. They move southward, and then put too much pressure on grazing and on the land and all of that. Then there was the problem in Libya that makes the circulation of small arms,
yes.
you know, an epidemic. Every stupid individual from the Sahel can have access to AK-47 just by paying just $200.
Okay, without wanting to
so I'm saying that we need to look at these problems in its entirety, and as a nation find a solution and contain what is happening, rather than seeing it as an ethnic problem.
Is that solution cattle colonies?
No, certainly not colony. The president and the president, they've spoken against colonies. Nobody's establishing cattle colony. In fact, the government is looking at the modern way of doing it that will be of benefit to both farmers and the herdsmen. A farmer or a herdsman, you know, at this age and time, need not walk, not drive, not fly, all the way from Sokoto to Bayelsa. By the time the man walks from Sokoto to Bayelsa for grazing, himself and the animal, they are both dried up. You know, no nutrition is left in that kind of animal. The man cannot even enjoy the benefits.
So what is the solution?
The solution is to, you know, do to create ranches, as it is done in Brazil, in Argentina, in South Africa, in Britain.
Okay.
You know, I said there is a company in South Africa. All it does is grow grass for herds. They grow the grass, they wrap it up,
yes.
you know, roll it up and keep in warehouses. People come there to buy, to feed horses, to feed cows.
So that is where we are going.
We have to go there. The government is desirous of going there. Not only that's where we are going, the government is obtaining seeds for, you know, nutritious grass across the world, so that you don't the cattle owner from Sokoto, Maiduguri doesn't have to walk.
Which begs the question: why is this not in the public space?
You know, we are talking about it. People are saying this at conferences, at gatherings, in meetings with Benue indigenes, in meetings with everybody, but there is a din going on. People want to create a different narrative, a narrative of religious crisis, a narrative of ethnic crisis. And I thought myself, if you say this crisis between Hausa Fulani and the thieves, or Hausa Fulani and Christians, Hausa Fulani Muslim and Christians, how do you interpret what happened in Zamfara, where majority of the people are Muslims and Hausa Fulani, and yet there was a clash between some herdsmen and you know, and farmers.
Okay, let's relocate to Ekiti.
Yes.
A little bird whispered to me that you might be contesting for governorship in Ekiti next year.
No, this year.
Oh, this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, yes, it will be opened this year.
Yes.
But the field increases by the day, and I do not want to mention any names.
Yes.
But in your views, and with the antics of the incumbent and the ups and downs that Ekiti State has experienced in recent past, what attributes do you think it requires to rule an Ekiti State of today?
Well, for me, you have to be creative. You have to be extremely creative. Ekiti is a place where there's no productivity going on. Today, as I'm sitting here, I can tell you there is no company employing 30 at a go, 30 persons at a go in Ekiti. There's no factory there. All that people do is get employed as civil servants, as teachers. And there are thousands of people who are walking the street unemployed. And yet, we have arable land. The land is fertile. There's nothing that cannot grow in Ekiti State. You know, rice, cocoa, cassava, banana, plantain, tomato, anything you put on the ground in Ekiti will germinate and grow. Yet, not up to 10% of the land in Ekiti is cultivated as I'm talking to you. And how can you have that? How can you have arable land and go to bed hungry? You know, Israel, a country, does not have enough land as Ekiti and is feeding itself and exporting to the rest of the world. We are saying that we have to go back to the land. If you go back to the 60s, the resources from cocoa that was used to develop this Ibadan and also to provide for education was taken from Ondo and Ekiti State. There is an entire belt in Ekiti State where all they do is grow cocoa, but those cocoa farms are aged now. We need to renew those farms, get our people, our young people, to go back to farm, not to use cutlass and hoe, but use modern implement. We must cultivate, feed ourselves, send whatever is available to the markets in Nigeria, process some and send abroad. You know, so when we create wealth, when we go to production, we're going to create wealth, and then we have a society all of us can be proud of, and our human resources, which is plenty, which, you know, you can locate in Washington DC, in London, in Paris, in Australia, South Africa, can then find a base at home. Today, our people get educated at home. There is nothing to sustain them mentally or physically, and they exit to go and find pasture somewhere. And then we left the poor people there to be deceived by con men who will give them sachet of rice, ask them to raise it up, take their photograph and send all over the world and celebrate as stomach infrastructure. We don't want to continue to dehumanize our people. We don't want to glamorize poverty. We want our people to be treated as decent, gentlemen and women. There is nowhere in the world where there is no poverty. Government help those who needed to be lifted up, but they don't do it by humiliating them, as we are doing in Ekiti now.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll be back. Part 2 of our interview with Senator Babafemo Ojodu. We'll continue. Just a quick short break for the message, and we'll be right back.